Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.
Alright, welcome back to Funny Computer Hub. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to work with your chorus in coreldraw. Remember, we are continuing from this training, right? We are continuing from where we stopped on the previous training. If you're watching the video and you have not been following this training, you can check out the description below and see other amazing tutorials which you can go through before reaching out to this particular video. Alright, my name is Epiphany and I still remain the one and only Epiphany from Funny Computer Up. So we are going to show you how, what is color and how to use your colors. In coreldraw we have two different colors. We are not limited to two, but major two colors that graphic designers use are CMYK and RGB. CMYK and RGB. You can see it here, CMYK and RGB. Let's talk about CMYK. So you're able to ask yourself, what is CMYK? That is what should be in your mind now. What is CMYK? As the name implies, it has meaning. The letter C there means cyan. Cyan. The letter M means magenta. The letter Y means yellow. The letter K means black. Can you see how it is? So all these things mean something. It has amazing meaning. Okay, so I'm going to add their colors to you so that you can see it clearly. Okay, you know this is a color palette, right? Where we can select colors. Before you select color, you have to select the object that you want to add color and add color, right? Okay, so but this one now, if I just place my cursor on any of this color, just look at what we show. That's what it's showing. It's showing RGB, right? This is for blue color. Okay, so this is for white color, RGB 255 255 255. So it's over that our CMYK color is not here. Okay, so I also want to show you now how to add your color. Let's say for example you open your coreldraw software and you are unable to see your color box here. To add it, this is how to do it. You come up here on your menu bar, you click on window tab and then click on color pictures. Click on it. Once you place your cursor on it, this dialog box will open. Then you come here. Can you see what is checked? RGB is checked while CMYK is not checked. So I can decide to add two color box on this side. So I can decide to check CMYK. You observe now there is now two color box. We have this, we have this. Okay, can you see this one? Can you see what is showing us? CMYK. Can you see? And their values. Okay, let me show the black, the white color. CMYK, that is for us to be able to get white color, our C will be 0, M is 0, Y is 0, and K is 0. Okay, so with this now, let me now add their colors. So this is letter. I want to put this. Okay, so this is letter C, which is cyan. So you come here, can you see this? Can you see what it's showing us? Cyan, can you see it? Select it so that you'll be able to see the color. This is magenta. Can you see? This is yellow, like I've told you. This is yellow. This is black. Can you see? if you observe now, anyone that is it, you see letter K. If I place my cursor here, can you see letter K? Letter K is showing 100. Okay, this should tell you. So if I click on letter C now and place my cursor on cyan, can you see letter C is showing 100? The value of letter C here is 100. Can you see? So the value of letter M here is also 100. Can you see now? Okay, the value of letter Y should be 100 too. Can you see now? Okay, so this is what we call MCYK. MCYK. In all designs, we were able to see these colors combined together. Okay, so when we now say MCYK, you have been able to see their names: cyan, magenta, yellow, black. Some person might decide to call this thing blue, say red, yellow and black. No, that is a real name. Okay, so for you to be able to understand now what I've just shown you, you should be able to understand now that the value of MCYK is 100. The highest value is 100. Okay, the highest value is 100. So let's say for example now I want to combine these four colors together. That is, I want to add 100% of cyan, 100% of magenta, 100% of yellow and 100% of black. If I add it together, what I'm going to have is black, pure black. Let me show you. Let me now add something like let me add a rectangle and show you. Let me go back. You know, the black that is at this top is 100% black, right? So if I go down there, I'm going to see the total black of all these colors, all magenta, cyan, yellow and black. I go down, I'm going to see it. I can click on this arrow, this double arrow, and then I'm going to see it immediately. Can you see now? Can you see? So if I select this now, can you see the type of black that I have? So if I decide to duplicate this and select the first black, this first black, you observe that the two are not the same. True or true? That is very true. This one looks like it's actually fading, while this one is very thick and dark. Can you see now? So this is 100% of all these colors, combination of cyan, magenta, yellow and black. But this particular black is just this one black only, so it's just 100% of this black, this K, this letter K. Okay, but this one is a combination of the four letters. Okay, so if we want to, if for example now we now decide to make all of them to have 0 values. So for 0 values, we are going to get white color. Can you see the white color here? Can you see white color? So white color now is, can you see, cyan is 0, magenta is 0, yellow is 0. Can you see black is 0? So I can start to select it. Can you see? So for you to be able to get white color when it comes to CMYK, all the values have to be 0 for you to be able to get the pure, not just pure, the thick shiny black color. All the values have to be 100%. And you need to understand that when it comes to MCYK, their highest value is 100. Okay, so you should not be able to ask yourself, why is this thing like this? Why is this thing like this? Any graphic designer that you see that is also into printing, they always understand this thing very easy. This thing now is just a combination. If for example this is my image now, this is my image, the color, for you to be able to see the beauty of this image, there is a combination of these 4 colors in it. These 4 colors, there's a combination of these 4 colors in this image. If I decided to remove, let's say, cyan out from this image, something will change on this image. If I decide to remove, let's say, only magenta from this image, something will remove. So if I decide to remove, let's say, two colors from this image, something will remove. But if all the images are added, all the colors are added, you are going to have a clear image. That's why you say that this is full color. We call it full color. Okay, and any design that you are designing that has to do with image, most of the times, once that image is there, that design is a full color design. Okay, so once somebody may decide to just let me delete some things. Okay, let's say this design now. Okay, this design, I hope you know that this one is a combination of the four, right? I can decide to bring my own. Let's say I decide to bring right up now and write something. Let me just write polyphonic. Make it white color and place it here. If you observe now, you may begin to tell me, the color that we have here is just black and white. That is not true. Do you know why? Because this black that you are seeing here is a combination of the four. Can you see? So, but if we decide to use the other black that we have, let me just call this in and then do undo so that the other black will come up. Okay, if we decide to use this particular black now, then I place this name on it. So this design now, we say that this design is black and white. That means it's just one color design. Yes, if you observe now, there is nowhere I showed you white color, right? This cyan is not white, M is not white, Y is not white, K is not white, but I've told you that this is full color combination. Okay, so when you see this now, you see that this is just one color. You get? So somebody may decide to design something. Let's say, for example, let me delete all this. Let's say, for example, now that person designing something and the background is just white. Then the light up might be, let's say, the person might decide to use cyan, for example. Okay, and write something, write many things on it. This cyan that I picked here is just one color. Can you see? It's just letter C that is showing 100. Can you see? Okay, so for you to be able to call this design now, this design is one color design. Let me remove the outline. Okay, but the outline will help me to know that this is okay, but we are not considering the outline now because there is black at the outline. Okay, but if we remove, okay, let's add the same color on the outline here. Now it's fine now. So this is one color design. Okay, so let it not confuse you. Don't say it's two color, it's black and it's blue, sorry, it's cyan and white. Nothing like white in color. If you observe, for us to be able to get this white, can you see now all those colors, all these letters C, cyan, magenta, yellow, black are zero? Can you see? So that means when these colors are not there, obviously what you're going to get is white color. Yes, so there is nothing that you can combine together to get white color. What you're going to combine together to get white color is nothing. You're going to combine zero of cyan, that means nothing of cyan. You're going to combine nothing of magenta, that is zero of magenta. You're going to combine zero of yellow, that is nothing of yellow. That means there is nothing. You don't need to add yellow, you don't need to add black, then you get white. Can you see, understand this now? So on this design now, my background is white while the write up is magenta. Okay, so if I decided to, let's say I select the text, I now make one to be magenta and then other ones cyan. Can you see? So we say that this thing is now two colors because we have magenta and cyan. Do you get this now? So but let's say now I decided to pick this one. I selected this letter, this red, Can you see this red? This pure red. Can you see the combination of this pure red? It's a combination of magenta and yellow. Can you see the letter M is 100, then the letter Y is 100. So if I select um this now, you see that the colors that we have here is three colors, because the red itself is magenta and yellow, then while the blue is just the blue, just the cyan only. So we have three color combination here. So I believe you're understanding this, right? Okay, so this is so easy, and I'm still going to show you when to use this and when to use the other one. So let's get to the other one, which is RGB. RGB, let me delete all this. Or oh, let me just leave it. Let me see a way to resize it, so that, let me move it by the side. Okay, so the next color we have here is RGB. RGB, as the name implies, RGB. The letter R there is red. The letter R is red. While the letter G is green. Then while the letter B is blue. Okay, the red, the green, and the blue. Okay, so let me now, this is letter R. Can you see? Hope you know that I added this, and this is CMYK, right? Why this box is RGB. So for you to be able to confirm, just place your cursor on any of the colors. You see RGB. Can you see RGB? You see a pop-up that will show you the color. Okay, so that you will not mistakenly be using this color and be using this color, just be combining the two. Okay, so this is red. I'm going to place it. Can you see the color now? The letter R here is showing 255, while letter G is showing 0 and letter B is showing 0. So I select this. This is letter R. This is letter G, which is green. Can you see letter G here is the only one that has value, right? And it has the 100% value of RGB. So you should be able to understand that the 100% value of RGB is 255. While for CMYK is 100. So for RGB is 255. Okay, so this is letter B, which is blue. Can you see blue here? Blue here is showing 255, while others are showing 0. Can you see it now? So I'll select blue. Okay, so that is amazing, right? Okay, so would you be able to ask yourself again, what can I combine to get if I combine two of these colors, what can I get? Let's say we combine all of these colors. If we combine all of these colors, we are going to get pure white. Can you see it here? Can you see it here? I'm selecting my white. Can you see white here? So white here is, there must be 255 on red, there must be value on green, there must be value on blue. So I select it. I'm able to add white color here. If I select this thing, if I now decide to add the combination, if there is no letter R, if there is no letter G, if there is no letter B, we will now have pure black. Okay, if I click on this thing now, If you observe, let me confirm something. If you observe now, there is nowhere you were able to see another pure black here, right? You know, when we treated this CMYK, you can see black 100% only. Then when you now click on this double-headed arrow, you see at the last part, you see the combination of the four colors to give you pure black. Okay, so but when it comes to RGB, we just have one black here, which is when there is no color. When those colors are zero value, you are able to get black, while when these colors has their 100% value, that is 255 values, you are able to get white. So it's observed now that there is just a reverse of CMYK. Okay, when the value of when all these colors are present, you're going to get white. When these colors are absent, you're going to get black. Okay, but when it comes to CMYK, you observe that when these colors are present, you're going to get black. Can you see? Then when these colors are absent, you're going to get white. Can you see it now? So these are two differences between them. Another difference between them is their value. This one RGB is 255, their highest value is 255, while for CMYK is 100. So you should not be able to ask yourself, will when am I expected to use these colors? Can I just, let's say now I'm designing something, I now use RGB on this one, and now come here and use, let's say I can now come here and use CMYK, just begin to go, no, it's not right to use just this one just like that as a graphic designer. Let me explain to you well when to use CMYK and when to use RGB. If you are designing anything that has to do with social media, if you are designing anything that will not be printed out, let's say a client asks you to design something for her, let's say a flyer, and he lets you know that he is not going to print out the flyer, that he just needs an e-flyer. E-flyer means electronic flyer, which that it will just be posted on social media. Then you don't that it's not something that will be printed out, so it will just be online flyer, for example. Okay, obviously if you are asked to do such, maybe it's a logo or whatever, what you're going to use is RGB. If you observe now, let me just do some practicals here. Let me select the blue of RGB. This is the blue of RGB. Let me select the blue of CMYK. Can you see the differences? This one is more sharp, right, than this, right? Okay, so that is it. You should be able to know when to use it. So but if you are designing a flyer or a job that needs to be printed out, okay, you need to use CMYK. Let me delete this. You need to use CMYK. You need to use CMYK. I don't know where to write this thing, so you're going to, okay, for social media or non printed out, let's say non printed out, you use RGB. Okay, for the one that can be printed out, you use CMYK. So this thing is not limited here. Let me explain further. Okay, it's not limited here because now we have an we have a machine which we call DI. Yes, those people that are into printing be able to bear me witness of this. We have a machine which we call DI. DI means direct printing. You know, before that machine came on board, most of our designs are always like this. Okay, yeah, not just are always like this. Most of our designs, we will always print it out. Okay, and This is why I told you this thing, this CMYK is for printing it, because this is separate works. So a graphic designer now, after designing your work, you will give it out for, separation. Yes, separation. They have to now take that your design and separate the colors into these four colors. Okay, let's say for example now I have this. Okay, let's say I have this design. Now I have the yes, I have this fabric that is bearing white. That's why that is bearing red color. But in this red color now, we have magenta, we have yellow. Can you see now? So then after it, the other ones we have cyan, right? So if I design something like this now and I'll say, okay, I want to print it out, I have to first of all give it out for separation. Okay, the person that will separate it will use system and separate the work. After separating it, before we are using something like film. Okay, when he was able to separate it and print out the separation for you, she will give you three films. That three film means that one will bear every design that you added cyan color. This one now will bear two. You're going to see the one that has fabric on it. That one will just be for magenta only. Then you're going to see another one that has fabric only, but it will be for yellow. Okay, so let me just explain further. But now we are not using film again. There's something we call CTP. Okay, so if I design this thing, I now say, okay, I want to separate it. You now use CTP. CTP is computer to plate. Okay, because before is that you have to separate it, they will give you something like a film, and then you now go and put it in a plate, then before you give it out to a printer for that printer to print it. But now we're now using computer. From computer you will now be transferred to a plate immediately, then a printer will now use those plates to print it. So this design now, like I've told you, this first fabric bears red color, and this red color is not magenta, is main red color, which for you to be able to get main red color, you have magenta and cyan, combination of magenta and cyan. So if he or she want to separate this work, this is what you are going to have. Let me give it to you. You're going to have this. You're going to have the one that has no of this. So now that I told you that we are doing from computer to plate, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have the one that has no of this. Then you're also going to have the one that has something like this. This is how you're going to see it. But now what you're going to see is that everything will just be black or blue, anyone. Okay, but this is what it represents. One will bear this magenta, while the other one will bear this yellow, because the red that we added there is combination of magenta and yellow. Okay, so you'll be given three plates. These three plates will be given to you, then you now take it to a printer. Then the printer will now begin to print it. The printer may decide to first of all print the magenta, the cyan. So when he is printing the cyan on the paper, that paper that is printing it, that paper will just be showing only these two tests on it. Okay, nothing will show here, because what is here is not cyan. Okay, the color that is used on the right top, that is on top here, is not cyan. So when the printer finishes printing the first color, it might start from magenta or cyan, it depends. Okay, so when you now finish printing it, you will now print the next color on it. So when it's now printing this next color now, you observe that this next color will not just be as exactly as it is. Yes, it will not just be exactly as this. It will not just be it will just give you something like this. So you are going to have it like this. Can you see all these things now are here? why this one added. Okay, then when you now add the next color, you now add the next plate and begin to print it with yellow. This will now turn from this magenta to red. Can you see what I just explained now? So that is how it's been done. You should be able to understand it. So that is why I told you that this works now. When we get to bitmap, I'm going to do some separations, then you're going to see how it works. Okay, let's say for example now I decided to, let me extract this image. Let's say I have this separation now. Well, let me use this image for it. I have this separation. I can decide to say, I can decide to, let's say, image. I don't want to use auto this. I want to use the one that will show me. There's something I want to tell you now for you to confirm what I've been saying. Okay. Okay, so not this one. Adjust, then I click on, yes, tone curve. So let me now show you something. This image that you are seeing here now, sorry, I've removed it. Okay, this image that I see here now, I decided to add tone curve. I've not added anything to it, but let me now show you something. This image, I can decide to say this is an RGB image, right? So I can decide to say, let me remove, if you observe it's on RGB, right? Then I say I click on red. I'll now draw this thing down. That means to remove the red. You observe what the image will look like. Can you see now this image is now decided to change? I say okay, let me remove the green. So the green I've not been able to remove very well. Okay, let me remove it here. I try to say let me remove it from there. Can you see now? Okay, it's still dragging his feet. Instead of it to just remove as I just did the other one. If you observe now, can you see now? I'm able to remove the green color. Can you see now? All my images are now showing blue. Can you see it now? So this to let you know that this image is not full color again. Can you see now? You cannot be able to see me clearly. Okay, but if I added that green, let's say let me first of all add red or green, anyone. Can you see now? My color begin to make some changes, and then add the green. Let me just click on preset so that it will. Can you see now everything is now in. The red is here, the green is here, the blue is also there. Can you see? So this is for you to clarify what I've just told you now, the explanation I've been giving about colors, for you to understand it very well, that when all the colors are in, we have full color. So anytime you see an image that is clear, very fine, just know that the image only is a full color. Okay, the image only is just a full color. So if you added an image, let's say now I added this image on this design. Let's say now I added this. Let's say on this design now, we use this thing as a design, right? So let's say I added this image. Let's say I reduce the text and decide to add image. Remember, all this while we have been saying that this design is 3 colors, right? this design is three colors, right? This one is two, while the other ones are one color. So a combination, all of them are three colors. But now that we have added this design, we have added this image. Being that we have added this image, this design now that I just selected is no longer three color design. It is now full color design, or we call it four color design. Okay, either you call it four colors or full color design. So why do we say four? This is one, two, three, four. Okay, so it's now full color design because an image is here, and for you to be able to get the image, that is a full color, that is a combination of this cyan, magenta, yellow and black on this image for you to be able to be clear and seen clearly. Okay, I believe I've spent much time on this color combination. Going to look over to the next thing that we have in this video, which is converting to bitmap. Converting to bitmap. When we say convert to bitmap, let me see a way to recite this so that I'll not just delete it immediately. Okay, so when we say convert to bitmap, what does it mean? So converting to bitmap means, let me just explain, because you have been seeing some persons doing the same thing, you may not even know how they did it. Okay, so let's say for example now I have this image. Let me use image. Yes, let me use image. I have this image now, and I believe you have been seeing some wedding jotters, right? These wedding jotters that at the back, the cover of that wedding jotter, you see that it's very, very amazing. There will be amazing designs and all that. Then when you now open the inside, you observe that the inside is just black and white, something like black and white. Some may be blue and white. Okay, it's just one color design. Let me use it for an example. Okay, I don't know if I can open the stuff here immediately. Okay, the inside will just be one color design. Okay, and that one color design, you observe that most of the times the color of those couples are just, the color of those couples are just faint. Okay, I'm opening one to show you. Okay, you might be wondering, as somebody that is learning graphics, you should be able to know all those things. You may be wondering, how is these people able to do this? How are they doing this? How they do it? Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. And this can you see there is an image that is on this design? There's an image. Okay, this image now, some person will just say that you can just pick the image. The image is just picked, and you now added, you can see this one too. This is logo. Okay, some person might say that you just pick the image and you now added transparency to it. Well, we can say that again, but that is not true. This one, there's transparency on this, but what about this one? Let me use this one as an example now. This one, oh, sorry. I think that is bitmap. I'll convert to okay, so let me just explain. So this particular logo that you're seeing now, it's being converted to bitmap for you it to be able to be like this. Okay, this logo now, everything is clear. Okay, unlike the one that is on the middle, it's the same thing that is added here, but we now added transparency to make it to be faint, so that when you give a jotter to someone, obviously you are giving the person something to write on, right? So that is, it's not wise for it to be just clear like this on an area where users have to write something on. Okay, so that is one reason we decided to add transparency on it. Okay, but you should be asking yourself, how are these people able to make the image to be, let's say, black and white, or to be gray color. Mainly is gray color. This is what we do. Okay, first of all, this is what we do. We just go select the image. Let me just duplicate this image. You just select the image and then go over to your bitmap tab. Click on bitmap. Can you see the first one, convert to bitmap? This dialog box will come up. You see the first one, resolution. You can leave it as 300, or you can change to your base resolution if you, okay. Then the color mode of this image is RGB. Okay, that is when I am even adjusting the tone curve, you observe that it's RGB. Okay, but if it's, let's say, if it's a design, or let's say a logo that bears this CMYK, okay, that thing that I just showed you, that color tone curve, you're going to observe that you're going to see letter C, you're going to see cyan, magenta, yellow and black. So if you remove, or maybe you pull down cyan, the image will change a bit. If you pull down magenta, the image will change a bit. So the reason why you're able to see RGB is because of the image that I used. Okay, so here too, now the color mode of this image that I just selected is RGB. So if I decided to click on this, if you click on this arrow now, you see the first one, white and black and white. If I click on it and click OK, it will convert this image to white and black. Okay, let me not delete it. Let me put it by the side. Duplicate this image, then do the same, convert to curve. Select the next one. The next one is 16 colors inch. I'll click OK. Can you see how it is? I'll select add another one, convert to curve. The next one is grayscale. Click OK. Can you see how this thing is? And add the next one, convert to curve, perpetuate. Can you see how it is? Let me add the next one. I want to convert it to curve. We have RGB, which is how it is. Let me even click on it and click OK. You observe that nothing will change. Okay, now leave it here. Then let's now convert this to curve. We'll now use the last but not the least, which is CMYK. Can you see how it is? Okay, so can you see these are convert to bitmap? So if you observe now, you should be able to, I believe if this is a live training, I would have asked you which one do we normally use when it comes to Jota, or which one do we use on this logo. Okay, but it's very clear, I think, right? I believe you not get confused. So this is the one that we use. Okay, so we use grayscale for our logos. Okay, in some cases, let me add this. In some cases, if you observe now, this my image is so clear, right? And my face is so clear. In some cases, let's say now a picture was given to you. If after converting it to grayscale and the image is not clear, because obviously for you to be able to convert it, you are actually going for printing work. Okay, if the image is not clear, what you can do is I select the image, click on bitmap, so select the image, click on effect, click on adjust, then select tone curve. Okay, remember when I adjusted, I showed you about how to add or remove the image of the other this image. Now when I use something like tone curve, if you observe, before I begin to draw this thing, I changed it to the particular color that I want to remove, right? So if you observe, when we added it, when we just open this thing, the first thing that you see here is RGB. So if you are on that RGB, yeah, that is RGB showing here, and you draw this, it means that you are pulling all the you are putting the whole color immediately. Okay, it means that you are adjusting the whole color immediately. Okay, but if you don't want to adjust the whole color, you just click on the arrow that is here and select the particular color that you want to adjust, which is what we did, right? So this particular one, now we are on gray. So if I can decide to adjust it, can you see, reduce it, I can decide to come to this middle and increase it. It will be a bit brighter. Can is getting brighter. So in most cases my own image is very clear, so I don't need to do this. But in most cases, if for example you are given a work to do, and you know this is a work that needs to be printed out, then after converting it to grayscale and you observe that the image is not that clear, so you need to just increase the brightness so that when it's being printed out it will be more amazing too. Okay, once you are through, you click OK. Okay, so that is it, guys. That is how to convert an image to bitmap. I believe you have been enjoying this training, right? If you're watching this tutorial from my YouTube channel and you have been getting lots of value, I want you to write something down on the comment section. Tell me something. This is what will help me to keep on giving this training. Okay, write something down on the comment section. And also, if you're watching outside our YouTube channel, you have my WhatsApp number. You just can't comment, just send me a message on WhatsApp. And at the same time, if you have a question, you can drop it on the comment section, or you can forward your questions to me and I will give you a warm reply.